मैं ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਖੜੀ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਵੂਮਨ ਇੱਕ ਔਰਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਖੜੀ ਹੈ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਐਬਸੋਲੂਟਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਸ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ
As a Sikh girl and now pursuing your sports, how did you make that happen? I mean, did you find any barrier or did you find that something which propelled you? So could you share that experience?
Yeah, so I came from a home that never ever made Sikhi feel like a barrier ever to me. And so, if anything, it gave me a lot of strength.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm so delighted to be with Hermehr Kaur. She is from Los Angeles and she has pursued her dream of playing tennis, and she has achieved Division 1
Level tennis.
Yeah, she has achieved Division 1 level tennis and has now entered in the corporate world. So those of the audience members who don't know what Division 1 tennis is, could you explain?
Yes,
Is that a big deal? I'm sure it's a big deal, right? Could you explain?
So a lot of times, the best way to explain it really is when you watch college football and you see Oregon and USC and Tennessee and all these big schools playing, it's the exact same level.
Oh wow.
But tennis. So we're under the exact same contracts. We're playing for the same amount of financial help. We're playing for the same level. And so essentially, as an athlete, we are accepted to the school as both a student and an athlete. It's a very rigorous recruiting process. And so we are, my team, we're fighting for spots just within the US, but also internationally. My team in college, I was the only American girl on the team.
Oh wow.
So I played with all girls from Amsterdam and Spain and Morocco, and so it's truly just a great experience, but it's essentially playing at the highest level just under professional tennis.
Tell us, when did you start being so passionate about tennis?
Yes, absolutely. So I grew up, in a household that was very, very accepting and welcoming of sports. I had so much energy as a young child, and I just wanted to play any sport that I possibly could. And I remember visiting a friend when I was around 6 years old, and she had tennis courts by her house, and I was all of a sudden intrigued by the sport, and I asked my dad, can I please play tennis also? And when we got back, he went out, found an instructor for me, and that was the journey, and that was the beginning of a journey that has turned into just something that I'm so thankful for. So I've been playing for 16, 17 years now at this point, and so it's been fantastic.
That must have been quite a concentration for you to be focusing on your sports as well as studies.
Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of times we look at sports and we think of it as, just an extracurricular, but when you play sports at this level, it's like another full-time job. Just like we focus on our studies, our schooling, tennis and any sport really at that level is just as important and requires just as much focus and discipline, if not more.
And could you tell us in terms of like if someone of a young age wants to pursue their career or their passion in sports, particularly tennis, what should they do?
So the first thing is really just to go out and start. There's no perfect way, there's no perfect path. Grab a racket, grab a ball, tell your friends, your parents, anybody, and just try and find a local coach. There are coaches everywhere. And just really trying to breed the passion and love for the game is just the best way to begin the process. And slowly, as you continue to learn, it'll take you in the path that it's meant to.
So this can be done, that you can pursue your studies as well as your passion for sports.
Yes, absolutely.
And excel in both fields.
Yes, absolutely. I graduated summa cum laude, so I graduated with a 3.9 GPA.
Oh wow.
I was captain of the team, and it is more than doable. I had a wonderful experience. I was happy. I had a social life, but there's no reason you have to pick one or the other. I did both, and I was thrilled while doing it.
Growing up as a Sikh girl and now pursuing your sports, how did you make that happen? I mean, did you find any barrier or did you find that something which propelled you? So could you share that experience?
Yeah, so I came from a home that never ever made Sikhi feel like a barrier ever to me. And so if anything, it gave me a lot of strength, I remember as a very young little kid in a pressure situation, I would be doing japji sahib before, you know, warming up, because that gave me power. And I think, you know, being a Sikh is such a strength, because we have this emotional, spiritual connection that so many people will never be able to find. And so as a Sikh athlete, you know, I never found Sikhi to be a barrier. If anything, it brought my community together. It helped me feel supported. Wherever I traveled, a lot of times Sikh members of the Sangat would come and support me. It was absolutely amazing. I felt like it went hand in hand.
So what would be your message to Sikh girls all over the world? Those who are of your age when you started playing sports. Could you share that?
Absolutely. My biggest message is to go out and do it. If you have an idea, if you have a passion, if you have a curiosity, go out there, find it, go after it, and I promise you the right people will support you. But it's really just about finding it within yourself to go out and go after it, and the Sangat will be there to make sure that you succeed.
So you don't need to hesitate, and nothing can stop you.
Absolutely not. There is nothing that can stop any young Sikh woman, you know, aspiring to achieve any sort of success in sports, in school, in anything. There's nothing stopping her.
And now she is working for Coca-Cola. Could you share that? How did you enter the corporate world?
Yeah, so I actually, as you mentioned, you know, balancing school and tennis, I started interning with the Coca-Cola company from my freshman year of college. So I would come home during the summers and I would intern with the company, and I began a mentorship process with the executive leadership team, and it was just the most fulfilling process, and I learned so much. I'm currently on the revenue growth side, so it's an execution between marketing and finance, and this was just something that's been brewing since my freshman year of college, and it went well, and so I was offered a position upon graduation.
That's wonderful. So now, what is your future aspiration? Where do you want to go?
So I'm hoping to get my MBA in a year, and then I'm hoping to be inspiring to the Sikh youth as someone who not only has tennis as a part of their background, but also is a successful marketing executive. I hope to be on the strategic end, and I'm very hopeful that I can help girls and even boys just feel like there's someone out there who did it, and so I'm hoping to take my business side to the next level.
Great. We are so delighted and proud of her achievements, and we can just see that if someone were to pursue their dreams and whatever you want to achieve, it can be done. And being a woman is not at all a sort of insurmountable barrier that you can't do it. So, especially what Guru Sahib has taught us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Satsang ji, if anyone who would like to get an advice or you know, get some strategic input from Hermehr, she is available.
Absolutely.
I'm volunteering.
Yes, absolutely. I'm here to help.
All right, so we need more of our young females, young girls, young women to become the role models for many other youngsters who need to pursue their dreams and follow their inner calling and successfully achieve their goals and whatever they want to pursue. So may Vaheguru bless Hermehr, and we will continue to watch any news coming from you and all the achievements that you can achieve. One request I would want to make, as being a Coca-Cola, and now that you are entering that world, it might be a great idea for you to navigate that company to become more eco-friendly and support environmental issues.
Speaking of which, go out and buy the Smart Water aluminum bottle.
Okay.
It's out. Powerade has something special coming, and so a lot of the brands are moving towards aluminum. We're looking towards recyclable options, and so we're right there with you.
Okay, well that fulfills my dream about eco-sick.
Right there.
So may Vaheguru bless Hermehr and her family. They supported her right from the very beginning. They worked hard to make sure that she achieves her dream and her goals. So that's the kind of supportive environment we all need to have in our families, especially for our girls. ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਸਿੰਘਣੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲਿਜਾਣ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ
ਇੱਕ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ, ਹਰਮੇਹਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਵਧਾਈ ਹੋਵੇ। ਸੋ ਹਰਮੇਹਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਖੜੀ ਹਾਂ, ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਵੂਮਨ, ਇੱਕ ਔਰਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਖੜੀ ਹੈ, ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਐਬਸੋਲੂਟਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਸ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ।
ਵਾਹ। ਸੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਹਰਮੇਹਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ। ਸੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕੋਲ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਬੱਚੀ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਨਸੀਹਤ ਦੇ ਆਧਾਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਰੋਲ ਅਦਾ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।